When you have ED, you're like an engineer. There's no room for spontaneity. Everything has to go in its right place. I had a system. Step 1, I go down on her. Step 2, she goes down on me. Step 3, sexy time. That's it. That's the whole playbook. And I did not deviate from this playbook. But one time she was like, hey, can we mix it up a little bit? And then she wanted her to go down on me first. Now this made me a little bit nervous because this creates a gap in time. Once I'm aroused, I have a very limited window. I don't know if I'm gonna last that window before sexy time. So we tried it, and just like I predicted, I lost my erection. I was not ready to go, and I could not recover. I was furious. How could she go and change things so flippantly? You think this was not done with a lot of thought? Everything is done by design. And I yelled. And I said, you messed this up. She just stared at me and was like saying, this isn't sexy at all. And she's right. Because when you have ED, you're not in the game of sexy. You're in the game of survival, baby. And that's the thing. When you have ED, you are so in your own world that you're not even having fun anymore. It's like having a broken down car. Have you ever had those friends where the car where nothing works? If you want to turn on the car, you gotta, pump the gas pedal a couple times and then turn on the ignition. And then if he forgets to turn on the windshield wipers, the tire falls off. Like, that's what it's like when you are dealing with somebody who has ED, and any little problem leads to a disastrous chain of events. And so the big problem is that, everyone says that, when we're engaging with each other, we feel really stressed out, and they call it performance anxiety. Well, the thing is, this stress and anxiety, it's not just something that lives in your head. There's a physical manifestation of it living inside your body. That's why I'm always pushing back against the NoFap stuff. It's not just dopamine receptors that are overloaded. There is a mechanical problem that's leading to this ED. This is why so many people can abstain from corn and still not be able to get hard. So how do we solve this problem? Because all this muscle tension is like bundled up stress, strained muscle tissue. How do we break it up? How do we solve this problem? Relax it. Because we can't just breathe through it or relax it intentionally. Because if we could, this wouldn't be such a pervasive problem. I mean, think about it. There's really no success stories outside of pills, and that's for a reason. Because ED is a one-way street of disaster. No one's coming back from this. I mean, people just don't come back from this. And it's not fun to talk about. So we need to find another way. And I'm reminded of this one story of 7 brothers. This father was like, he took these 7 sticks representing the 7 brothers, and he bundled it up, tied it together, and then he said to the 7 brothers, whoever can break this bundle of sticks will get my inheritance. And so all the brothers were doing everything they can, put it underneath the car and wedge it somewhere and try to bend it and all this stuff, but they couldn't break it. And at the end, when they finally gave up, the father took the bundle of sticks, he untied it, and then easily broke apart each stick one at a time. And so the moral of the story was, if you guys stand together, you cannot be broken. But if you are broken apart, you can be easily broken. And that's what we have to do with our muscles. See, muscles are comprised of thousands of little fibers, kind of like how rope is comprised of thousands of little strings. And so what we need to do is we need to break the bundle apart piece by piece so that we can collectively relax the bigger muscle tissues. So in today's video, what I'm going to do is just give you the overarching prerequisite strategy for what we're going to need to use in order to solve our ED problem. And in the next video, I'm going to tell you exactly what we're doing. So up till now, what I've said, and I'll put these links in the description below, is that you need 2 skills. One is meditation. You need to be able to relax yourself and bring yourself down. So when I say that we're gonna break things apart piece by piece, it's kind of like, I don't know, when people cut mangoes and they kind of turn it inside out to expose the mango meat. Like, I'm gonna show you how to do that. But every time we expose a tight problem, where you have strained muscle tissue, or a source of anxiety and stress, you have to be able to relax that muscle. And so what you have to be able to do is learn how to relax that issue, whatever it is. And we're gonna go through all the issues that you're gonna have to go through, but we'll be able to break apart that bundle of sticks so you can attack each stick, but you need to be able to master the art of breaking that stick. And in this scenario, that's meditation or relaxation, whatever. You have to figure your way out. If you don't want to do meditation, you find your own way through, it's fine. But you need to be able to relax that problem. The second skill you'll need is to master your sex drive. I mentioned this before, it's not just about abstaining from corn. This is as much as, I need you to master skill beyond that. You can't be an alcoholic where you abstain for 7 years and you're doing great, and then you have 1 drink and then you go on a bender this night. Like, you can't do that. I need to be able to let you get hammered, and then the next day you can go another 7 years. That's the level of control you'll need, because our sex drive is a very powerful force. And that thing got us into this issue, and now we're gonna leverage that force to get us out of the same hole it dug us. And so you need to be able to pass that 4-week wing test, because that's gonna prove that if you need to be on, you can be on. If you have to be off, you be off. And that's where we're gonna need to have maximum control. Now, I've also mentioned one of the core actions you're gonna be doing is fapping without the pelvic pump. And again, there's a link in there. That's gonna link to a subreddit post where I can post a non-safe for work link where you can see this guy's winger and see what a pelvic pump is. And you have to be able to fap without using that pelvic pump. I want to point out something. That thing doesn't belong to me, even though it says it's mine. But and I also, you guys, you owe me, because do you know how many videos I had to search through to find the guy doing what I'm looking for him to do? It's not fun. It's not fun. And I had to go through so many videos focusing on something I did not care to look at, but I did it for you. And so there better be some appreciation about that. Anyways, go ahead and enjoy yourself, because you have to go look at it just like I looked at it, and you'll see what I'm talking about in terms of you cannot use that pelvic pump. And you can FAP, but you cannot use that pelvic pump. And so once you understand those are the 3 things they're going to be asking from you, on the next video I'm going to show you how we're going to break that bundle of sticks apart so that we can attack each strained muscle tissue independently. And then you do this, then we'll start to make progress up this mountain that we are all struggling with. So if you feel like your ED is something that you're struggling with or you don't know, you can go on primalhair.com where they have a test and you can sign up and then get, informed whenever we have latest content. That way you can see if this is journey that I'm kind of guiding you guys through is something that can help you on recovering and increasing your performance in the bedroom.